Hello and welcome to the Freedom Frequency Podcast. I'm your host, Kaya, energy healer, psychic channel, and spiritual mentor for women who are ready to ditch the spiritual rulebook, release the pressure and overwhelm, and let go of all that comparison that makes you feel like what you're doing isn't enough. In this podcast, I'm going to share bits of my journey with you, as well as my wisdom and knowledge to show you that spirituality gets to be something that works for you and not something that you work for. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello. Today I want to talk about something that we're probably all thinking about now that it's November. As soon as Halloween passes, I feel like we all get into this mode of like, Christmas is coming. I know some of us like to wait to, start celebrating the holidays until after Remembrance Day. But I find that a lot of us kind of get into this mode of like, okay, Christmas is coming, the end of the year is coming, this year is wrapping up, and we're heading on to the next one. And it's kind of like that end of the year feeling like, and I think a lot of it does have to do with Christmas. And I think a lot of us who celebrate Christmas are very excited for the holiday, right? Like there's a lot of cheer and decorations and yummy treats and presents and all family time, like everything around the holidays. So we're very excited when this time of year comes around. And a lot of us look forward to Christmas. Like everywhere you look online right now, I feel like it's like countdowns to the holidays. It's like everyone's so excited. Like it's like we can't wait. And in this energy, it can kind of feel like, as we're desiring Christmas to come and we're desiring that holiday time, maybe you have time off from work or whatever it is, then we're almost like checking out of the year, right? Like we're almost in this energy of like excited for that last week of the year to come, because that's when all the fun happens, like New Year's and everything like that. And a lot of us have exciting plans. So it can often feel like around this time of year, like, okay, the year is pretty much over. Like we're wrapping up. We're about to just get ready for Christmas and that's it. You know what I mean? If you're American, I know you still have Thanksgiving coming up, but in Canada here, we already had it. So after Remembrance Day, Christmas is like, the final holiday of the year before New Year's Eve. So it feels like we're wrapping up the year. We're looking on to next year. We're kind of like reflecting on the year behind. And in this, we can often have, this feeling of the year is over. So, there's not much left to unfold. We can kind of feel like the chapter's closing, we're in the last like month and a half, like it's basically over, like it's just, Christmas and then we're done kind of thing. And this is where I see a lot of people who just start thinking this way. And the way that I see this is like, it's almost the energy of like throwing in the towel, right? Especially if we had goals that we're working on this year, goals that we're manifesting even without a time frame. Oftentimes we can feel like, okay, well, this year's over. Like, let's focus on next year. What are my goals for next year? What resolutions am I setting, or intentions, whatever you like to do personally? And we start to think ahead about next year when we still have a month and a half left of this year. And we forget that a lot of magic can unfold in a month and a half. Like that's a lot of time, right? And when we're in this energy of, we're wrapping up, the year's over, like, and, I'm just going to focus on Christmas and then I'll worry about all this other stuff in January, we're like closing the doors on the abundance that we're desiring. So if you're desiring like, a relationship to come into your life, like you're desiring a romantic partner, and you're kind of in the energy of like, oh, well, I'm going to be busy for the next couple months getting ready for the holidays and like, getting ready to take some time off work, and, I have this to do and I have these gatherings with friends and like blah, blah, blah. So like, it's just going to be really busy. So like, I'll start focusing on like creating that online dating profile in January when I have more time. Nobody's looking around the holidays, so I'll just wait till January. Or maybe you're wanting to create more momentum and income in your business and you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to be so busy in the last couple months of the year. I don't really have a lot of time to launch anything. A lot of people are probably like spending all their money on Christmas stuff, so like they're not going to be spending money on my services. So I'll wait till January and I'll just like, come up with a new idea then. Like I'll sit down and like map out my whole year for my business and like, start picking up momentum then. And there's nothing wrong with this. Like there's no right or wrong way to do anything, of course. But when we're the type of women who are desiring big things and we're desiring momentum to pick up in our lives and towards what we're desiring in the life we desire to create, then the more that we're skipping over time and like, closing the window of opportunity, then it's like we're closing that window and then we're going to have to like open it all up from scratch again in January. And so this is what I see with a lot of people is they kind of check out in the end of the year to whatever their goals are. And they're just like, I'll pick everything back up in January. And then January comes and it's like, it's this pressure of like, oh my gosh, like it's January, it's a fresh slate, the pages have turned, it's a fresh chapter. And it creates this pressure for a lot of people where it's like, the pressure's on. I got to decide what I'm doing with my year. I have no plans. Like, there's no momentum that's built up. I'm starting from scratch, and it's like this pressure to get things moving and to come up with ideas for your business or to, start making strides in your personal development journey or something that you had shut the door on at the end of the previous year, right? So when we start to get in this energy of closing the windows of opportunity, then we're actually stopping momentum. So any momentum that's been building throughout the year, building even in the last month or the last couple months, when we decide that we're just going to wait till January to do something, then we're closing the door of the opportunity for something miraculous to come in at the end of the year. And if you talk to many different, spiritual teachers and entrepreneurs and things like that, a lot of people agree that the end of the year is where a lot of the magic unfolds. The end of the year is where all the momentum that you've been building for the year compounds and you see the quantum leaps. The end of the year is like, I know especially in business, a lot of people have the mentality that nobody's going to buy my services. I'm not going to launch this thing because, everyone's spending money on Christmas and blah, blah, blah. But I know for me personally and for some of my mentors and things like that, the last 3 months of the year are often the most profitable. And part of this is because momentum's been building all year. And you're now seeing that quantum leap and that pop from the momentum and the speed picking up. But the other part of it is that these people are staying plugged in. Like we're staying plugged in to that momentum. We're staying plugged into the energy of like, I'm open for miracles to come in, even if it's the last week of the year. So that's why it's so important to not just close the door in the year and okay, the year's up, I'm just going to worry about Christmas and then start my goals in January. Now is the time to start laying the groundwork, to start laying the foundations, to start building momentum towards what you're desiring, so that when January comes around, then it's like you already have some speed built and momentum can just continue to compound, right? And we're starting January with a plan. We're starting January with clear intentions and a clear plan of how we might execute that. We're starting January with like some moves that have already been made. So we're not starting with a fresh slate with nothing towards what we desire. And this is exactly why I decided to launch my 2024 manifestation party as like a fun little end of the year offer, because I feel like a lot of people do get in this checked out energy and they do kind of see like, they're like, I'm just going to wait till January kind of energy. And there's so much that has been channeling through for me in the last couple weeks around this year and the energy of, the new year coming and for 2024 in general, and if you've seen on my Instagram, you've probably seen me advertise about this 2024 manifestation party and how next year is a numerology like collective number 8 year. So all of us are collectively experiencing a number 8 year, which is like eight, abundance, right? Abundance of all forms. So money, love, attention, confidence, like everything. And with this, we can lean into that energy and we can use it for our benefit, obviously, to create more abundance. And this has been something I've been thinking about a lot recently. And in turn, I've been channeling a lot of information through from the spiritual realm about this year and next year and the energetics of it all, and just how we can lean further into this energy. And through everything that's been channeling through me, I always think, is this for me or is it for someone else or is it for the collective? And there's a lot of collective messages coming through, which is why I decided to create the 2024 manifestation party. And I say it's a party, but it's like a virtual Zoom get together. It's just something fun and light, but I wanted to have a platform and a space for those of you who are wanting to hear these messages that are coming through, who are curious about how to use the energy of the collective 8 year, who are wondering what the spiritual realm and the spirit guides are having to say about how we can lean further into this energy and create momentum and set our intentions to have the most abundant year in 2024. So this manifestation party is going to be just a really fun evening of listening to everything that I have channeling through. So I don't know how long that might be, maybe about half an hour, where I'm going to be sharing a lot coming through. And we're going to also be doing some manifestation rituals and setting intentions and just sharing in community. If you want to like be on video, then you're more than welcome. I love that. And you don't have to be, and we can all bring like, cozy clothes and drinks and and snacks and things like that, and just relax and enjoy. And of course, it wouldn't be one of my offers if I wasn't going to do some energy healing that night, just to kind of clear out anything from 2023 and really prepare a clean foundation for the intentions we'll be setting that night, and creating space for our manifestations to come in. And I'll be doing some energy activations with the healing as well for abundance, purity, and love, the frequencies I work with the most. So it's just going to be a really fun night and a really great way to share in community, to have some fun, to learn more about what's channeling through, and also set some intentions and do some manifestation as well. So if you are wanting to join us for that evening, I would love to have you. It's super low ticket. The price is elevating as we get closer to the actual date, so it's going to be middle of December. I'm going to link it in the show notes if you want to check it out and check out the date. There will be a recording. You don't have to come live to receive the energy healing and the benefits, and obviously the channeled messages. So the recording will be just as great. So if you're wanting to join in with us, then I will pop that link in the show notes so you can sign up and snag your spot. So I'm really excited for that coming, because I feel like this really ties into a lot of like this episode and this topic. It's just a lot of things I've been reflecting on lately as we're coming to the end of the year, and having that tendency to think, oh, we're coming to the end of the year, and instead of slowing down, deciding to pick up instead, deciding to hit the gas even further and start creating momentum. So yeah, that's everything that's coming through for me today. And I would love to hear if this message resonates for you and how you're feeling ending off the year. And of course, I would love to see you in the 2024 manifestation party. So thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you on the next one.